is as well in Ol-Kalou, in other areas, just making sure that they bring us up to speed on what is happening in Ol-Kalou. In the meantime, we shall also be having this discussion with my guest in studio, and Dr. Solomon Njenga is a governance, peace and security expert, Karibu Sana, as well as Grace Kamau, who's a women's leadership advocate, and Fanya Mambo Kinuthia, who is a political and governance expert and also a lawyer. Karibuni Sana.
Thank you.
We look at what is happening in Ol-Kalou, and today the people of Ol-Kalou are making the decision. 74,000 and some change of citizens who are going to cast their vote, and 1,000 police officers who have been sent down. And I just want to start with you, Dr. on what has to do with security. 1,000 police officers in Ol-Kalou, is it warranted?
Thank you so much, Dennis. And it's unfortunate that this 8th by-election since 2022, this is the most sensitive, so to say, election that is taking place. The police, the number is a bit humongous. The number is a bit, frustrating. The number is a bit humiliating. We are hearing of 1,000 police. We are hearing of 2,000 policemen. And someone said that the police are even, are everywhere. And Dennis, I'm a bit worried because we are now militarizing the polling stations. We are militarizing the elections. And while it's good to have security, election is a free will. And everyone should be allowed to do what they want to do. From the shops, from the roads, and all avenues, we are seeing police with guns. We are seeing water canisters. We are seeing a lot of many things that are also frustrating. So psychologically, it's a bit frustrating to have these humongous police officers all over.
All over, yeah. I want to come to you, Grace. Now, during the campaign period, we just go back to the campaign period, and we saw a lot of violence in Ol-Kalou. You know, we saw party materials being destroyed. We saw campaigns being disrupted. We also saw that meeting that Governor Irun Kangara had, and his bodyguard was shot, you know. And we are looking at when really security was needed vis-a-vis when you're saying security. I want to ask the question, ping pong game, and some of the people who get affected, especially the most during the electioning period, are women who would say, why participate where there is violence? What would be your take on that?
Good morning, Dennis.
Morning.
Today I am speaking on behalf of women. And as you can tell, it is the women who are the largest voting bloc in this country. And it is women who find themselves in the midst of conflict whenever violence is involved. As you have said, we've seen a lot of insecurity during the campaign. And if you look at the people who get to suffer most are the women. And in the issue of Ol-Kalou, how can we sort the issue of security? Number one is by looking at what are the electoral political actions being taken place. And you can tell that no country in this world has legally acquired the equality between men and women, especially in politics. And this is until 1945, during the Seneca Declaration, where women were given the right to vote. And it is as trickling down as 1960s, when women were allowed to vote. So as much as the women of Ol-Kalou are at the center of all this, it is the women of Ol-Kalou who will decide who will be their leader during this by-election.
Fanya Mambo, you were on ground during the campaign period. Yes. And during that time, you can tell us exactly what happened. But even while at that, election is a process. And the process starts by me saying I want to run. Yes. I will go and vote. Yeah. Campaign period has been announced. It has to be peaceful. It has to be devoid of violence, devoid of corruption, devoid of intimidation. Is that what we saw during the campaign period towards the voting day today?
Actually, thank you very much. I was in Ol-Kalou. I was there for about 3 or 4 days. It was a good place to be. I think I need to paint to the Kenyans what exactly is happening in Ol-Kalou. Ol-Kalou is a neighbor wearing a yellow kofia and meeting with another guy wearing a green kofia. And the guy with the green kofia owns the canter that carries his cabbages to Nairobi. Okay? The guy in a yellow kofia is meeting a guy who ordinarily is the one whose cow services theirs when it's on heat. It's a guy meeting another person who ordinarily yeye yako na ile pickup huwa inahamisha around the town. So these are the people we are expecting to fight. I think some people are stupidly ambitious. If you're expecting someone whose pickup carries cabbages for this other one to fight because one is wearing a yellow kofia and the other one is wearing a green kofia, something is wrong with your head. And that is why violence could not work in Ol-Kalou. When I was there in Saturday, when I took live videos of the DCP truck that was attacked, I was there because we could see that the attackers were not even from Ol-Kalou. We could see there were people who had guns. And we said, and I submit to the IG, tulikuwa tumekukataza kuua watu. Lakini IG, kama hao goons ni wa DCP, please kill them. If they are not goons known to the government, you have permission from all Kenyans to kill them because they had guns. They attacked that DCP truck with stones. And all of them, the people of Ol-Kalou were saying, awa hatujui. The 3 Prados that were chasing that DCP truck, all of them without a registration number. Tunaomba tu, mukishika wa watu muwashoot because they are not interested. We are not interested in them. So the people of Ol-Kalou are peaceful people. These are people who will not fight one another. When we went for lunch, I sat at a place called Makuti. And UDA guys came and they sat there. We were DCP guys. And then we had a conversation. We told the waiter, patia wale soda. And then they said, munafikiri hatuna pesa, hata nyinyi patueni ile kitu nakunywa. And we had that conversation. I'm telling you things that happened at Makuti on Saturday. So now, why do you want those people to fight? What are they fighting about? In fact, if you killed somebody in Ol-Kalou, someone would ask you, wewe, umepiga mtoto wa mama Kamau. Because they know each other by name. They know each other by villages. These people, by the way, when they go to church, ule ni wa kwaya, ule ni wa jumuiya. Yule sijui ni district head. I don't know. So these are the kind of people that some ambitious people are thinking will get into a fight. Now, we are disappointing you. The disappointing news is these people have known each other for so long. They've interacted so deeply, so intimately. Wengine hata ni mashemeji wameoana. Sasa watapigana aje. So Ol-Kalou is going to be peaceful. And if you see any violence coming, it is coming from people who are not from Ol-Kalou.
Terry, with that in mind then, there is the responsibility that IEBC has in ensuring that the electoral laws are adhered to. That includes security. And we've seen, we have to give credit where it's due, where they have fined the MP for Nakuru East, 2.5 million, 1.5 million for the other legislator as well. And with that, then one asks the question, is that enough for IEBC when it comes to delivering an election that is verifiable, that is factual? Has it done enough until today where we say IEBC is going to deliver an election when the process seemingly is tainted?
Thank you. I want to be a bit balanced in responding to the issue of IEBC. IEBC, this month, this is their 1 year in office. And in the last 1 year or 12 months, they have been able to deliver 7 by-elections. And last year, because they were delayed in the formation, last year, they were able to do 7 in 1 month, which is November 2025. And this, then there was the 6th and the, And I want to give them a benefit of doubt. However, IEBC has also been, we have also seen a trend of IEBC where they are more inclined to a certain political formation. Why do I say that? We have seen bribery, daylight bribery. Only when one of the political party issue came up, that they also needed to bring them on board. And I want to believe that IEBC has the legal mandate to deliver credible and verifiable by-election today. And therefore, they should be able to shun off all the interferences that we have seen in the past. We have seen them coming out so boldly in talking, but we haven't seen them so boldly in delivery. This is their golden opportunity for the IEBC to demonstrate that they can actually deliver a general election which is next year. And we have seen, Dennis, a manner suggesting, or likely suggesting, that they are a bit incompetent in matters of how they handle, how they speak, and how they also react to some issues. We have seen the issue of the IEBC chairman saying that there is a possibility of postponing a by-election. That was a bummer. That was, that statement should not have come from the chairman of the IEBC.
Yeah, and Grace, with the IEBC itself saying that if the want to disregard to the electoral laws continue, that there is a possibility of postponing an election, one would say that is an indictment, because IEBC itself has seen a problem with the process. Remember, an election is a process. From where you sit, how would you rate IEBC's performance, IEBC's handling of the entire process towards today, when Kenyans are queuing to elect their member of parliament?
If I was to give a rating card of IEBC from the time that the campaign started up to now, I'll give it a solid 6. A solid
That's
6.
More than half.
That is more than half, because you see, we have a chairman who's coming out and saying we are seeing a problem, and it takes quite the courage to identify a problem from where you being the chairman of IEBC. This country, especially the people of Ol-Kalou, they are also putting faith in IEBC in conducting a peaceful process during this by-election. So we have the people of Ol-Kalou who are having so much faith with the IEBC. Then we have the IEBC who's already looking at the process, and they can tell the gaps. They can tell the gaps of the process, and this institution is willing to even close those gaps. And we're talking by let me be a little bit the devil's advocate of the deployment of police. They may have deployed quite a number of them, but I believe that we do need the security apparatus during this by-election, because you can tell there has been tension even in Ol-Kalou from both camps, from the DCP and from the UD camps. So IEBC declaring that they are comfortable with the security apparatus within the small by-election is a good, it is a good idea for them, yes.
Fanya mambo. Dr. has said IEBC has too much talk, little action. We've seen that various leaders have called out IEBC Chair Erastus Ethicon on how he's handled, especially the campaign period. And there's also allegations that IEBC is seemingly inclined on one faction, yet it's supposed to be a referee, an arbiter, to be bipartisan in this election. From where it is you sit and all this that is being thrown behind IEBC, what guarantees are there?
To start with, I think Kenyans need a small correction about IEBC. There is this clique of 7 commissioners.
Yes.
That's where our problem is. Terrible. That's where our problem is. When you go down, there are people who've been working with IEBC since 2002. They are expert clerks. The drivers who deliver the ballots, like you can see, these ballots are there in good time. The people who are picking fingers, the people who are counting those votes. The IEBC that is made of professional lawyers, I know some who sit at the IEBC, you know, as advocates within IEBC, and some of them are even my classmates. And I can tell you that nobody should think that removing this crop of 7, by the way, is going to affect us in any way. We can even kick them out 2 days to the election and get another 7. Because in terms of professionalism, the Kenyans who fall below the 7 commissioners, I can tell you they have accounting officers, they have procurement people, they have people who are experienced. So let us not beat up a whole institution because of a crop of 7 that always messes up all the time.
There are also
All I'm trying to say...
There are also laws that are in place that determine when a commission should be formed.
You see,
and the law that is there as well must be looked into.
I agree with you. All I'm trying to tell Kenyans is this. Let us not always think that those commissioners mean everything. The law provides that we need to have them, but they are not everything. India is the biggest democracy in the world. It has 900 million voters. Voters, not residents. And they have 3 commissioners. 1, 2, 3. Sisi hata mko na voters wangapi hapa? 20, 30 million, and you want 7 commissioners. In fact, there was a time we had a proposal to increase them to 9. So those commissioners are things we can even assume. We can even tell Evecon, by the way, you are not IEBC. You know, you are ceremonial. The law allows for you to be there. You are the chief returning officer. You're the one who is supposed to announce the results. But let me tell you, we have a professional IBC under them, and that's who we are looking at. So let this committee there not confuse us at all.
Yeah, with having a professional secretariat now that is running the show, right? But having a problem at the commission level,
yes.
How do we replicate a professional secretariat to be seen by Kenyans at the commission level? Because the commission as well has an integral role that it does play. So how do we marry both levels of IEBC to make sense to Kenyans so that when a Kenyan sits back home, so that when residents of Ol-Kalou queuing there, as we can see right now, are saying, we believe that the commission will deliver a free, fair, credible, and verifiable election, not just on the voting day, but throughout the entire process.
Let me say this, Dennis. There is the Constitution that stipulates, 1, the number of commissioners, 2, the methodology of bringing them into that number, and also the methodology of removing them, when, why, and how. That is clear. If you study the Kenyan politics since the introduction of multi-party democracy in 1992, you will see almost the 7 general elections that have taken place. There is always a finger that is pointed to the commissioners of IEBC, mostly by the political class. And this political class is divided into 2. One that is in the opposition, that is always fighting against the IEBC. Secondly, there is also the government point of view, or should I say the incumbent, that is pro-IEBC. And when you look at the, since 1992, 97, 2002, all the way to 2017 to 2022, IEBC is a body that brings sanity, that, okay, I will say that ought to bring sanity. But we have seen from the time of Kivuitu that the IEBC has been seen to be inclined to a certain political function. And that is a misnomer. And that is why we are seeing, even at the by-election, as we talk right now today, there's some people saying they are on this side, and there's people who are saying they're on this side. My call to the IEBC commissioner is to be above the Kenyan politics. It is to behave like gentlemen in the guardrails of the Constitution. It is so unfortunate that the commissioners that we have right now, they have exposed themselves so much in the sense that the delivery is 0 and the talking is 100%. And therefore there is a mismatch. And they are a bit they are a bit reactive. When a certain issue happens, that is where we see them holding a press conference. And we have also seen a lot of ushujaa na umaringo coming out from the commissioners when they speak. In psychology, you can tell that they are full of themselves. When the two MPs were called because of various issues, I could see one of the commissioners even almost hitting the table as if he is the master, and yet he is supposed to be a neutral arbiter. So when do commissioners become a neutral arbiter? When do commissioners behave as if they are actually in the guardrail of the Constitution? And if we will not change that mentality of them being inclined to a certain function, then we'll always hear what Kenodia is talking about, that they need to be removed even 2 days before the election, which I want to correct my colleague. That's a political statement, but it's actually, okay, it is possible, but it's not, it's not good. So we are actually in the situation whereby the IEBC should balance the ethos of the Constitution with the reality of the populace.
Grace, how deep, according to you as a Kenyan, from where you sit, how deep is political interference within IEBC? And how does that affect the perception that Kenyans do have on its ability to deliver?
So you're asking how deep is our political affiliations in
political interference
in
IEBC.
IEBC? It is quite deep, and I'm going to agree with Daktari. IEBC should act like a neutral actor in this process. But how it has been noticed lately, it is inclining towards a particular affiliation, which is more or less on the government side. And there's a question that I'm asking myself as Dr. was speaking. Is this a cycle of IEBC commissioners? Because you have talked about the 207 when Kivuito made the announcement and lights went off. And you are also talking about...
Lights didn't go off, they were switched off.
Oh, they were switched off. Then we are talking about the 2013, the repeat of the election. Is it 2013 or 2017? Come 2022, we are also seeing the 4 commissioners of the IEBC saying that, some commissioners saying that the results were opaque. So this is, as a Kenyan, as an ordinary Kenyan where I'm sitting, I'm also starting to question, is this the pattern of IEBC, that it always takes up the side of the government? Yeah.
Grace, I will come back to you, but I want us to now go to Ol-Kalou and touch base with our reporter, that is Ken Gashuhi, who, as I mentioned to understand, is with